What if one of the most feared pirates in One Piece history never even made it into the spotlight? Before Shanks earned his Yonko title, there may have been a different ruler shaking the new world to its core, not Kaido, not Big Mom, but a forgotten prince of destruction. A pirate so powerful, the world erased his reign from memory until now. Loki's dark rise and shocking downfall may hold the key to an entire era the world government once buried. In this video, we're diving into the mysterious past of Prince Loki of Elbaf, a character who's been shrouded in secrecy ever since his name was first whispered in the One Piece lore. But recent hints and fan theories have reignited interest in his story, with some believing he once stood as one of the emperors of the sea. From his mythical devil fruit to his rumored clash with Shanks, there's more to Loki's legacy than we've ever imagined. Loki may have been an emperor of the sea at one point. Among the strongest pirates in the world, the obvious distinguishing characteristic that leads to one becoming an emperor of the sea is overwhelming strength and might. Not only have all Yonko been known for their influence and formidable crews, but they are also distinguished by their unrivaled might, which is the greatest among pirate groups. Whitebeard, Shanks, Kaido, Big Mom, Luffy, Blackbeard, and Buggy are the most powerful pirates in the current situation, with the exception of Buggy. Despite Buggy's lack of power, his position as emperor is owing to Crocodile's wisdom and Mihawk's strength, the latter of which is said to be on par with Shanks. Based on this, it is evident that strength is perhaps the most important asset in determining who will become emperor. Interestingly, Loki's strength is plainly meant to be on par with the rest of the characters. Although the truth is unclear, Loki owns the famous devil fruit of Elbaf, which is said to change him into the sun god Nika. Despite the mystery surrounding the potency of his haki, his devil fruit is said to be at least as powerful as Luffy's, however. The exact reasons for this have yet to be revealed, other than the fact that it enabled him to wreak havoc across Elbaf and the New World uncontested. Oda has stated clearly that if one's devil fruit is strong enough, incredible haki is unnecessary. As a result, many fans believe that 6 years before the main story began, the pirate power hierarchy looked dramatically different. Shanks was not an emperor at the time, and Loki had set sail for the oceans, wreaking havoc wherever he went, with his devil fruit powers ensuring that no one could stop him. As a result, many fans believe Loki was an emperor of the sea for a brief period of time, as his strength allowed him to do anything he wanted all across the world. However, everything changed when he met Shanks, and the two fought in an epic battle that shook the world and caused a dramatic shift in the power hierarchy. Given that Shanks is supposed to have become emperor roughly 6 years before the start of the main story, and the timing adds up to Loki's rampage, most fans believe Shanks became emperor after defeating Loki and taking up the vacant place left by the accursed prince. Everything ties up perfectly thus. It's more than likely that Loki became known as an emperor of the sea before being beaten and imprisoned in Elbaf by Shanks, who would then assume his role. This would provide complexity to both Loki's and Shanks' journeys, demonstrating how these two powerhouses are more interconnected than previously believed. Loki's greatest inspiration for becoming such a pirate. Loki's destructive behavior was most likely because of his desire to emulate rocks. Loki had always been shunned since birth because of the prophecy that led everyone on Elbaf to believe he was a monster. Growing up in such miserable surroundings, Loki came to accept being an outsider, a belief reinforced by his idolization of the renowned Rox D. Zebek, who was regarded as the greatest and most terrifying pirate of his generation. During his peak, Rox was considered the pinnacle of strength in the world, surpassing even Roger and Whitebeard. With this authority, he ensured that the world knew his name by making his crew behave like a terrorist organization, causing havoc wherever they went and challenging the world government's orders. Loki would emulate his idol, becoming known across the seas as a powerful and vicious pirate who could someday become Emperor of the Sea. Summary and highlights. Loki may have been an emperor of the sea at one time, rivaling the strength of other great pirates. Among the world's most powerful pirates, becoming an emperor needs both strength and influence. Loki, inspired by Rox D. Zebek, embraced his pariah status and aspired to replicate the infamous pirate's fear. Loki's story might still be hidden behind the mist of Elbaf's legends, but the implications are impossible to ignore. If the theory holds true, then the balance of power in One Piece history has been far more volatile than we ever thought, and Shanks' rise to emperor may not be as clean as it seemed. What do you think really happened during Loki's era? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoy deep dives like this, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories and wild theories from the world of One Piece. Thank you very much for visiting the Mugiwara Review YouTube channel, buddy. We hope you enjoy our review analysis. Don't forget to subscribe and continue joining us on our joyful journey in the world of anime. If you have any wishes, question, or suggestions for our next videos, feel free to express your thoughts on the comments below. Thank you very much for your support, and until we meet again, see you next time, buddy. What is One Piece anime? One Piece is a manga and anime story about a young boy named Monkey D. Luffy who wants to be the king of the pirates in the world. As a child, he eats a devil fruit, a strange plant that makes him able to stretch like rubber. Before the show starts, Luffy goes out into the world for the first time and starts to gather a group of pirates. The main group grows over time, but it starts with Luffy, Nami the Navigator, and a swordsman named Roronoa Zoro. At some point, Luffy and his friends are known as the Straw Hat Pirates, and they go on many exciting adventures across the ocean. One Piece is a lot of fun because it's silly. Luffy goes from island to island around the world in the series. Each island has its own setting and theme. It's a pretty fantastical world full of animals that look like people, live skeletons, and other delightfully strange things. Within moments, the group is in a winter scene, and the next, they are on a tropical island full of giants. The show is full of silly and bright details. For example, Zoro holds a sword in his mouth, a scary military boss wears a cute bulldog hat, and people don't use phones to talk to each other instead. They use special transponder snails that can send and receive messages. Luffy is a carefree person who just wants to eat a tasty meal and laugh at bad jokes. Even though there are some funny parts in the series, a lot of One Piece is about freedom. During his travels, Luffy often takes up guns to help his friends and encourages others to do the same against pirates and government-backed military occupations. The characters in Luffy and his crew get stronger with each fight, which is typical for shonen manga. A lot of the story is about how Luffy beats a problem that seemed impossible to solve and finds some kind of secret power. After each fight, Luffy and his team get stronger and move closer to his main goal, which is to find the One Piece. Why is it called One Piece? The first part of both the manga and the anime shows that Pirate King Ghoul D. Roger is telling the truth about the mythical wealth called the One Piece. One Piece is the name of the show, because Luffy wants to find the One Piece and become the next Pirate King. One of Luffy's main goals in the show is mentioned in the show's title. What is the One Piece? The answer to this question is still one of the biggest secrets in the series. It's been more than 1,000 episodes, and we still don't know what One Piece is. We know that the One Piece is the name of the treasure that Ghoul D. Roger collected on his travels because of details in the manga. We still don't know a lot about the treasure, though. There are a lot of ideas from fans about what the One Piece is, but we still don't know what it is or even if it's real. The One Piece could just be the friends Luffy makes along the way.